Hi, Stitchers!
Hi, I'm Laura.
And I'm Keisha, and we're the Pattern Queens, and welcome to Stitch With Us, episode 38. Today is September the 24th, and this is a channel about cross stitch.
And friendship and silliness and rambles and lots of shenanigans. And today it's about the first day of autumn, which was
Ooh,
yesterday.
yes, observed over here.
There you go.
So today we're doing a Stitch With Us, and we are stitching Autumn Town by Autumn Lane Stitchery. So tell us the details about yours, Laura.
Well, first of all, I have mine in this project bag. Is there any more perfect project bag for this? I just love
Yeah,
it.
that's
This is
perfect.
from Project Bags by Judy, our friend. And I am stitching mine on a piece of 32 count limited edition linen from Color and Cotton. You can see the colors coming through there. Maybe it's better in front of my face. Anyway, Keisha said it was supposed to look like dead grass, and it is.
Well, that's
And
because that's what Aaron said. And
oh,
since
there
he
you go.
designed it, because the grass on this piece is not stitched. It's the only thing on here that's not stitched. I am working on a piece of 40 count putty from Weeks, I believe. And yeah, it's gonna be good, I think. Mine's gonna be teeny tiny since it's on 40.
I think mine is on the
You said
size that he called for 28.
so.
He called for 28 count apple harvest by Mountain Air Linens. So, okay, I have
So
to put
this,
the glasses up now.
all right. I'm excited for the colors in this piece. I'm starting in the top right or top left. Whew, I don't know my directions today because
And
I
I
usually do
start
top.
in the bottom right. Yes.
So I'm starting with a beautiful red tree.
And I am starting with a path in this pale yellow,
Nice.
number 677. Uh,
And
Mine just
I'm
wants to
using,
fight.
oh, we kind of went through whenever we were planning this out a long time ago. We went to Cecilia's together and we just pulled overdyes that we thought were going to be uh, pretty for the trees. And so I'm stitching with Classic Colorworks Cupid is the red I'm using on this one.
Hmm. Well, and I know, I don't know if you bought as many as it says. Did you buy? We were supposed to get three skeins of one week of one of the weeks and two skeins of the other.
I did not, but I'm wondering how much I'll probably need to buy another skein of it. But I'm doing it on 40 count, so I'm thinking with only one
Oh,
strand, so I'm thinking that I'm gonna use less than what's called for.
that's true.
So I figured, they're trees, so I don't really care too much about a real consistent dye lot. So just pick up what I need when I need it. It's kind of um, my thoughts. I may have way darker or way lighter trees down toward the bottom, but it'll be okay.
I may not get stitches in this morning. I don't know. It's not setting up how I want. So that makes me think I didn't start on the right thread.
Oh,
That's okay. I'll get it fixed in here.
it's always the struggle in starting. There are so many things that you have to factor in. Where are
Yeah.
you going to start? What color are you going to start? Making sure you start on the right thread if you're working on linen or even weave.
And I don't know how many of you saw my post from last week, but I kitted up three projects last Sunday and it took me about 7.5 hours
Wow.
because I put them all on thread drops and hung them up pretty.
Mhm.
So it was just a lot. This one has a lot of colors And Stars Hollow that I was kitting up had 39 colors. And then the other one I'm doing is Touching the Autumn Sky. This piece of floss is well and truly just stuck. I don't know
Oof, don't
why.
you hate that?
Yeah, I'm just going to carefully cut it out of here. I mean, it's DMC, but it didn't want to come out, and I'm not going to force it. But Touching the Autumn Sky also has a bunch of flosses in it.
Well, and I made the discovery when I pulled this out yesterday. We had pulled these flosses quite some time ago, and I thought I'd kitted the whole thing up. I didn't. I just bought the stuff for the trees. So luckily there's a tree where I'm starting.
Oh, and also this week I found this needle minder,
Ooh,
which
fun.
goes perfectly. And then because it's an autumn lane, an autumn lane pattern, I found this one that they designed.
Oh, cool.
So those are the needle minders that I'll use on this piece.
I have not chosen a needle minder for this piece yet, but I'm a hot mess today, everyone. I'm a hot mess.
But you
I'm
have
still, huh?
that dragon needle minder too, I think.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Um, I should keep this in the bag that he designed too. I came across that the other day.
Oh, that would be fun because it's a fall bag.
Mhm.
I just, when we were at a stitch day and Judy was there with bags, she had this one. And I just knew immediately that that was the one that needed to house my project.
Mhm.
Okay. I swear I'm getting the right thread.
So, do you have a good week this week?
I did. We only had 4 days of school, and then Friday was professional development, which was kind of a bit of a nightmare, but we'll just ignore it. I already shared that with Keisha, and she got to see the craziness from the day. But I felt like it went pretty quickly, and I made good connections with kids, and that's always the meaningful part of the week. And we had Stitch night Thursday night, which I love.
Yes.
How
Yeah,
about
I
you?
had a busy week at work. We're getting down to fiscal year end, which is just always a busy time for me. Um, and uh, and then yesterday we tried to have a family fun day with James. It ended up being a fun day. Uh, a city near us was doing a touch a truck event at one of the malls.
Oh,
So we tried to go to that, except for it rained a lot yesterday here,
oh, it
and
rained
so
so much.
so the event was canceled.
Nobody
So we
had
didn't
to
get to.
touch the truck in the rain, huh?
Yeah, well, no, the trucks didn't come. So no touching of trucks, but the mall has a whole bunch of like the little, put a quarter in it and it moves sort of vehicles.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
except for it's $1 for them now instead of a quarter. But
Whoa.
anyway, uh, but James does not care if they move or not. So he just likes to sit on them. So we just went and sat on all of those. And then we had a meltdown about pretzels because we wanted to get one of the big pretzels. And I asked him if he wanted a giant pretzel or if he wanted a little pretzel. And he said a giant pretzel. So we got that. But of course, he's 3. So as soon as we sat down to eat the pretzel, he goes, I wanted the little ones.
Oh no.
Full blown meltdown. But it was right before nap time. So
That
He was a
doesn't
little
help either, right?
overstimulated. Yeah, a little overstimulated, a little tired, but he enjoyed the lemonade we bought there. So
I'm trying a different needle and seeing if a slightly sharper needle makes a difference for me.
good idea.
It's one of my pony
So
needles, which you told us the other day you're not feeling those pony needles.
yeah, they're not bad whenever I'm actually stitching with them, but I don't like the way it feels whenever I thread them.
Huh.
So, which is very funny to me because I'm not at all picky about needles, I don't feel. Like that's the first one where I'm like, no, I don't think so.
It is a coated needle.
Hmm.
That's what I just
And you
picked
did tell
up.
me,
And it's slightly sharper and
yeah.
it makes it easier for me.
And you did tell me that you'd get me a threader, and I said that I had a threader, I just don't use it. So really, I'm just not helping myself out with the problem I have. So, but that's okay. I tried to start something yesterday for the first day of autumn. It was just kind of a fall uh, ornament-sized mill hill. So I figured that that would be fun. Except for whenever I tried to start it, we were watching the Mario movie at home, and we hadn't seen that yet. So we were well, James and I were watching it. My husband was watching football on his phone, but there are parts that James told me were definitely scary, so we had to hold hands during those parts. So I didn't really get much stitching in. But he wanted to make sure I didn't get too scared, so he held my hand.
I think I saw that in the theater.
Yeah, it was a cute one.
I also think I slept through part of that.
It was cute, and as a person who was I think the first game either came out like I think it came out like a year or two before I was born, the first Super Mario Brothers. But I played that a bunch on the Nintendo whenever I was little because my grandma and grandpa had it, and then so I just kind of grew up with the franchise. And there were lots of fun nods to the game, to the different games and everything in the movie. So it was kind of fun to watch that and find the Easter eggs and things like that.
Hmm.
But it's like a Universal one, an Illumination Studios. So Illumination has taken the Minions as their mascot. So they're just like a little bit whenever they're doing the illumination thing where the minion is there.
Hmm.
And James goes, "We're not watching Minions. Get out of here." I was like, "Yeah, buddy, this is just a little commercial at the beginning. It's okay."
Have you guys planned your trip to the pumpkin patch?
We have not, well, we know that we're going, and I think we're going, it's either the first or second weekend of October. I'm trying to remember because my mom always goes with us and she only has one available weekend, so we're going that weekend. Uh, but we're very excited to go. It's it's fun every year because James can do different things. So he's only really been able to do the baby stuff. So I think
Kind of
this will
your
be a
marker then.
Mhm. And they have a carousel that you can ride as many times as you want to, and James loves the carousel. So we'll go on that a bunch of times. I'm not having great luck today.
I am
Got a
not either. I don't know what's up with this.
got a big old knot, and I miscounted something, so trying to pull stitches out now. So yeah, I'm really excited about the pumpkin patch because there's unlimited carousel rides and James just loves the carousel. He's going to have a great time. And they say the pumpkin patch that we go to, they say that you can only have one ride, but they let you have as many rides as you want to.
As long
So
as
you
there
have
aren't
to,
the whole line, right?
yeah, yep, you have to get off and go back through. So, which is nice because he always wants to go. James always wants to go with one of us, and then my mom always wants to take him on there. So we'll go a couple of times. They have a lot of inflatable things and little trampolines that we haven't let him go on yet because he's just been too small. And I've been worried about the big kids trampling him, but he's kind of getting big enough that he can hold his own. So I'm excited for the cider donuts. So I'm excited to go and have some of that. Are you more of a pumpkin spice person or an apples person?
Oh,
Like as far as
apple,
me
apple.
too. Me too.
The only reason for pumpkin pie is whipped cream.
Mm. See, I like pumpkin. I've had like pumpkin soup and roasted pumpkin and pumpkin pie, and I like that. But any day, I'd rather have like a caramel apple than a pumpkin thing. It took most of my willpower at the mall yesterday to not turn around and go back for an uh an apple cinnamon chai latte. If we hadn't just gotten pretzels, I would have 100% gotten that.
um, I really, really love apple crisp.
Yes.
And even as a gluten-free person, I can have that because we just make it with the gluten-free flour in the crumble.
Right.
The pumpkin thing that I really like is a pumpkin dump cake.
Oh yeah.
You make it with a yellow cake mix and some pumpkin puree and some other spices. And just mix it in and um when it bakes, then it has kind of gooey rivers through it where the pumpkin
Mhm.
puree is sitting, and you leave it. It's almost like if you've had the ooey gooey butter cake. It's almost like
Yes.
that, just with pumpkin.
Ooh, that sounds great. Yeah, I
So,
like pumpkin, but even at like Thanksgiving dinner, I'm the person who gets the pecan pie for dessert instead of the pumpkin pie because I'd rather have pecan.
absolutely.
So, but I will have to get, I my Starbucks pumpkin drink is the pumpkin cold brew. I really like that
Okay.
a lot. So I'll have to
Instead of
get
a
one of
pumpkin
those.
spice latte, huh?
Mhm. I like the pumpkin spice lattes too, but I'd rather have the cold brew because it's a little bit stronger coffee flavor, but you still get some of the pumpkin. I do like their pumpkin muffins at
For
this time of year though.
So for one more week here, Thursday afternoons, if you buy a fall drink, you get one free.
Ooh, I'll have to take advantage of that. So I think they have a pumpkin chai right now too. That's one of their new drinks.
And I believe if you you can see it if you have the app, it will list all of the drinks that are eligible.
Mhm. They do
Mine
have an
is,
apple one, or they had an apple one last year, but it didn't taste too much like apple. So,
yeah, I am not really a flavored coffee drinker. Now, you'll think that's funny because I'm going to tell you my drink is a mocha
mm,
at Starbucks. But in general, I'd rather just have plain coffee.
no, I like all of it. Give me regular coffee, give me coffee with all the sweet. I really like the cold brews at Starbucks with the flavored foams on top. I'm into that.
And funny enough, that's where Bree is off to today. She is going to work at Starbucks.
Nice.
I am
My
almost
husband.
wondering if my fabric is mislabeled because I am not seeing this at all.
Oh
I mean,
no.
it is just not working for me. I love when this happens and your brain is just saying, no, thank you. We're not doing this.
Oh
So I may
no.
just sit here and talk to you for the rest of the time. It doesn't want to
Okay.
go in, it doesn't want to line up. I might just need to really be popped down here under the light and stitching, but it's not happening right now. So I just will not be frustrated with it.
Mine is going okay. I just can't count today. But that's probably because I used all of my counting energy at work this week.
There
That's what
you
I'll tell
go. So instead, I will sit here and pull out my seasonal etchings. And I'm working on the
Perfect.
green fish. He's almost done. And I will just
That works.
keep going on him. This is the project that was sitting right beside me, and I pulled the needle out because I thought, well, maybe a different needle would help with this. I may go
Hmm.
back and restart this with just one strand and see how that looks.
Oh yeah.
But I'm just wondering if my 32 count is mislabeled.
Oh, and it's actually 36 or something.
Yes, it feels very tight, and I'm just not seeing the holes with the two strands of floss going through. Maybe it's
Mhm.
just a really tight 32,
Could be.
but I'm not seeing it go through there. So that's not worth having a mess.
No, life's too short to work on something you don't want to, especially whenever you could figure it out later.
Well, and it's such a pretty piece. I don't want to start off on the wrong foot.
Right. And then never finish it because you don't want to work on it.
Right. So I have really been feeling this one lately. And I
Yeah.
will go back later on today and I will make a start on Autumn Town. I just need to figure out if I'm sticking with that fabric or I did have another one out. I had one out called Moss from Picture
Mhm.
This Plus that is a little bit darker than this that I was working on. And I might see what it looks like. It may be a 28 count, which on Picture This Plus, that's more like a 32.
Right.
But 28's what he called for on there, so who knows? We'll see.
When I ended up with this fabric, I remembered as I was looking at it, it was on sale at Cecilia's.
Oh,
It was
okay.
marked down. It was whenever we
Looking in
were
that one
shopping
basket.
for this. Yeah. So I was like, well, that seems to be the perfect color and it's on sale. So I'm just doing it. That's how this decision was made.
I did not get to my Touching the Autumn Sky yesterday,
Oh.
and it's because Katie and I were madly planning and working up to the last minute. And we are hosting in the Black Needle Society Facebook group, um, Humans versus Zombies, which is
Ooh.
basically we're doing stitching challenge. It's basically going to be 10-minute stitching challenges, and a zombie will challenge someone who is still a human and see who can get the most stitches in 10 minutes. And there
Ooh,
are
that
other
sounds
rules
fun.
that go with it, but it will be kind of a fun thing and it will go for the whole month of October.
Ooh.
So, yeah.
Well, as I've already told you, I'll be a zombie with my when I'm challenged the first time because there's no way that I'm winning any stitching challenges. But
There were
that's okay.
people we told who the first zombie is, and that person is a a pretty quick stitcher. And
Yeah.
there were people who said, just make me a zombie now.
Right.
And we said, well, you don't know that that's who's going to challenge you. So it'll be fun.
Yeah, you picked a good first zombie because they're definitely going to turn whoever they challenge first.
And the group, we did a Zoom last night, and the group knows who the zombie will be, but I didn't ask if I could say it on here, so I won't. Now, I know that person watches us from time to time, so if you're watching, you can unveil yourself in the comments. But people were getting a good kick out of it. We think it'll be just a fun, silly way to celebrate October, and it's just something different for our Black Needle group.
Yeah, a fun game is always cool.
And if you aren't familiar with the premise, it's that zombies challenge humans, and if humans lose to zombies, then the zombie eats their brains. So then they become zombies and they challenge more
Mhm.
humans. And we think by the end of it, we will have a zombie apocalypse. So
Probably so. Speaking of Black Needle, we're getting close to doing our first books with BNS chat, and I
nice.
just finished that book. It's The Narrow by Kate Alice Marshall, and uh, it was pretty good. I'm looking forward to discussing it with people. But if you're a member of that group and you haven't seen or you want to become a member of that group, every 2 months we're just having just a sit and talk about a book and bring your stitching, just kind of a fun little book club. It's free. But in the Books with BNS Facebook group, I've put up a poll for the December book because I'm leading that discussion. So people are voting on that, which is exciting. So I tried to pick things that were a little bit light because it's at the discussion will be at the end of or at the beginning of December. So I didn't want anything that was too horrifying for the holidays.
I am waiting to read The Narrow until right before book club group, because I listen to a lot of books, and I just don't want it to.
Get jumbled.
Right. I did just finish another book, The Brothers Hawthorne, which is the fifth book in the Inheritance Games series by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. And um it was pretty good, and I'm looking forward to the next one. This one just came out, so I probably have a year to wait before the next one comes out, but
Right.
it was fun. I have been reading a lot lately.
Oh, that's good. I have not been reading a lot lately. I did have because I listened to The Narrow mostly just on my commute to work because I have a good 20-minute commute every day to work. And then I'd usually listen to something else on the way home. But um, I finished it and I was like, well, what am I going to listen to now? So trying to pick a new book, or I might just go back to listening to podcasts. I'm not sure.
It's kind of fun though to spend your time in the car listening to a book.
Mm-hmm.
It's always fun to have somebody read to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I really listening to audiobooks has kind of changed things for me a little bit because I love to read, but as probably most of the people watching this know, cross stitching is a time consuming hobby, and reading also a time consuming hobby. So having someone read to you while you stitch is just like double dipping.
Yes.
So that's kind of nice. I just have to make sure I'm not working on anything too complicated or I'll lose lose what they're talking about.
um the book The Narrow, if you are having problems finding it, we do know it's available on Audible, so you can get
Yes.
it there. That's where I will be
And
listening to it.
I thought the narration was good.
Awesome.
So that's how I listened to it. So
I have to look at how many hours it is and plan kind of that way. I feel like I have this part of this week to listen to this one book that I have that's only about 6 hours.
right. I can look real quick because I feel like it wasn't much longer than 10 hours.
There have been reports that it's a little creepy, but it should be okay.
Yeah, it's not I'm a little bit of a baby and it, it creeped me out a little bit, but it wasn't too bad. 10 hours and 42 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
Totally doable.
Ooh, so I may have to read 2 books before I read it because I know myself. I can't go without having a book going.
Right.
Okay, I'm finishing crossing these, but um I have finished The Fish. So
Woohoo.
this is a mini finish because it's this block completely finished. And I'll move
That's
over to the other one. I have one more in this to do. I really like this pattern. It's very sweet. And I have been a little obsessed with it lately and wanting to get, that's my very squeaky front door. Sounds very creepy with our chat, right? Um,
great.
but I have wanted nothing other than to work on this project. So
Always
I've
nice when that
allowed
happens.
myself that.
Right?
What you say, Keisha? I'm sorry.
I said it's always nice when that happens, when you're just
Mhm.
like, I'm so into this.
It's seriously just what I've wanted to work on. And it's easy, fun, comforting stitching. Um, I've been doing it at work during my lunch, so I generally get just 10 or 15 minutes on it a day to try and get a little bit of work done, which isn't a lot, but it moves along. And then it's what I worked on. Oh, no, it's not what I worked on Thursday. It's what I had kind of thought I would. Excuse me, but then I ended up working on Life After Death.
Mhm.
I put in a lot of stitches on that. I was
Good.
pleasantly surprised.
Well, I've been kind of going through a little bit of a slump, I feel like. Whenever I have time to stitch, I can't really think of what I want to be working on. So I spend more time going through my whips trying to pull out something than I do actually stitching. So hoping I find something that's just like, yes, this.
You mean the itsy bitsy spider hasn't completely captivated your attention?
It hasn't, but that's probably because I keep getting requests to work on it and I'm like, I want to.
We don't like to be told what to work on. I think we're all funny like that. We seriously don't want to be told what to work on.
Right. So I just need to find something that I'm really excited about.
Sorry, counting.
No, it's okay. I moved slightly and my pattern just went everywhere.
Oh no.
That's okay. I got it figured out.
You're working from your phone, is that right?
No, so I have the paper pattern here that
Okay.
I'm working from.
So
But
typically Keisha will take a picture of the pattern and then work from her device so that she can zoom in and work wherever she wants and check things out.
yes. But as I said earlier today, I'm a hot mess today, so I have not exactly set up the way I usually would be.
And you can mark things up in there too then, right?
Mhm. But it's okay. I'm moving along. Not moving along very quickly, but I never do. So that's okay.
These fish were fun. I loved it. I've saved the bunny for last because
Of
if you know
course.
me, you know that that's my favorite. And I just have to set up the frame and I have flowers and then I will do the bunny. Which now
Mm,
I'm hoping that I have enough of this floss left to stitch him. Otherwise, Katie and I will be going and finding me more floss.
I think the owls have been my favorite so far.
They're pretty cute.
I like them a lot. I don't know if you can hear my family, but if you can hear my family, I apologize. I thought they were going for a bike ride while we filmed, but
I can't hear anything.
okay. Well, I just heard, Daddy, I want to see. I have no idea what's going on out there.
Um, I can just hear the things going on in my house, and I don't know what you can hear of that. So,
I can't hear anything, probably because of listening to my family yell.
so the rest of you out there may be getting a good earful of a lot of things.
Eh, just our lives.
Okay, I got that one.
Ugh. Sorry, I don't have a whole lot to say today, guys. I'm not feeling super great today, so
It is kind of a quiet stitch with us, but it's okay. We're
mhm.
getting through here. Um, we've kind of talked back and forth about plans of different things we want to do for next year. Have you thought any more about things you want to do?
Well, I kind of had this idea. So I think a year of stats is cool and like focusing on things. I kind of had this thought because I'm going through and trying to organize my stash a little bit that maybe I would look at my whip pile and if I had more than one thing by a designer trying to finish it, so I only have one thing for each designer, which will be really interesting when I get to Mill Hill and Frosted Pumpkin because I have like things from them. So,
Well, I kind of feel like you have to give Mill Hill a caveat because isn't there a different designer for every piece?
well, that's true. Maybe I should look at it by years and collections.
I mean, you could have only one size of
That's
each
true.
Mill
Maybe I can
Hill.
have an ornament in a big one. That could be good. But yeah, I'm trying to think, if I want to the trying to think if I want to do another one of like the Facebook challenge groups again, or if I kind of just want to go off on my own. I'm still thinking about it. How
Yeah,
about you?
I have lots of fun playing with things. What I really want is to get all of my whips out and play with them and kind of pick through and see what's going on. I look through to see how many projects I have by each designer. And what I know is that it would be a lot of things that I had to finish if I
Right.
was trying to get down to one from each designer. because I think when I looked at it, oh, good, there's going to be a cat fight. You guys might get a good earful here. I think when I looked at it, and I can peek quickly. So it'll look like I'm looking at you guys weird while I do this because I'm looking at a spreadsheet. Um, I mean, there are several that only have two, but Blackbird Designs, I have 5 going, and Carriage House, I have 4 going. That surprises me a little. Carriage House 4. I'll have to go back and see what those are. And You and I and Friends, I have 4. Heartstring Samplery, I have 6.
Oh, so yeah, you'd have a lot to.
Oh, here it is. Plum Street Samplers, 8.
Oh goodness.
I have several 4s on here, and the other 5 is the Drawn Thread, which again, that has me a little curious, and I'll have to go back and look. But I don't tend to stitch a lot of ornament size things, so most of my things are a little bit. I do have several smalls and mediums going, and if I have multiples in there, those I could maybe work and get pulled out and finish up some.
Yeah.
I know that one of my Carriage House is the oh, I just went brain dead. A Year at Hawk Run Hollow.
Oh yeah.
So that's not going to get finished anytime soon.
Right. Yeah. I'm not sure how practical of an idea it is, but I was like, oh, that might just be an interesting thing to kind of see.
It's kind of a fun goal,
Mhm.
maybe to use as a way to choose some things.
Right.
But I was thinking, I've run so many ideas through my head about things. First of all, I know that Katie is going to want to do 24 starts next year, like we are doing 23 this year. So
Right.
each month we'll have, well, and with 24, I'm sure we'll do 2 a month.
Yeah.
It worked really well to only have one for the months that we have retreats, except that one of those happens to be in July, and I had multiple starts anyway because that's my birthday month.
Yeah.
So I have to have it. But
Right.
my other thing, I was thinking that I would choose a focus project for each month, and
Mhm.
um that I would spin first and see which size category I'm doing. And I have small, medium, large, extra large, and BAP. So I have 5 categories. And then I have all of my whips listed. I would do a random number generator from my spreadsheet and spin and or use that and see which project comes up and make that my focus project for the month.
Oh,
So
that'd be
just
fun.
completely randomly. I would have to set some rules about, what does that look like? How many stitches do I guarantee, or how many hours do I guarantee that I will do if it's a focus project?
Mhm. See, I really liked doing 25/7, and I keep telling myself that I'm going to get back into that, but then I do it for like a day or two and I stop. So I think I really should dedicate myself to doing that because I had a lot of fun just seeing how long it took to get things done.
I did enjoy that the year that well, that was more than a year because I did multiple projects and finish them up.
Mhm.
I tried getting myself to start that again with a project that I want to get finished so I can start another project.
Right.
And I have not been good with it. I just haven't kicked in and stuck with it and finished. Tiger is sitting here looking at my lap like, why are your legs not up? Why am I not there? Aren't you? He's so pretty sitting over here by me looking at me.
See, maybe I should tell myself I need to start the 25/7 again just to kind of get me out of my slump. Maybe my problem is that I have too many things I could work on. And maybe I just need to be like, no, you're working on this.
You tend to be a little more monogamous with your stitching, don't you feel like?
Yeah, yeah, I do kind of get that way.
Although I said that and then I thought, you kind of go by whatever day it is. You have different things that you do for different days.
Yeah, but I do like if I'm really into something, then I'll work on it. Like it's kind of it's interesting with doing floss tube because I feel like my focus is like a week and I want to be like, this is what I'm working on this week, but I have to work on a couple of things. So I
So
have a
that we
few
have
things to
something
show.
to show, right?
Which I know you guys probably wouldn't care, but it would make for really short floss tubes.
Which we've had lately because we've both been a little more fixated on fewer projects.
Right.
Come on. You can just see his head there.
Yes.
He's quite irritated with me. There is not enough lap for a big cat. Oh, he's making the move. Yes, he would like to be right
Done it.
here.
He's done it.
He is on my lap now. So that's so funny. He's a big, big guy. Um, I have listened to so many different floss tubes and different stitchers talk about how they choose what to work on, and it's always interesting, but I'm always looking to spark the creativity and get things done.
Right.
I really enjoyed the year that I did Mania, where I only worked on projects that were digital, that were on my devices.
I remember that one. That was 2020 when you did that.
Um,
That's why we started Let Joy Be Unconfined.
we still have to find something to replace that, right?
No, we need a new Mother's Day project.
Maybe something will come out at market that just fits.
That we just absolutely need to have. I need to get mine framed. I'd like to frame that one.
I have to decide what I'm doing. My piece of fabric is fairly small, so I may make it, since I have newly acquired knowledge about lacing, I may lace that and make it a flat piece that I can mount on something else.
Oh, fun. See, I have a lot of fabric and I love the fabric on that. So I think I don't want to frame it too close or however I finish it, I want it to be bigger.
I was just thinking, we both, when I went to Heartstring Samplery for their closing sale, I picked up the project for you that I already had. The one from Ink Circles.
Oh, yeah.
We could do one of the ink circles like or we have the one that goes with helianthus.
Mhm. Ooh, maybe we could. Maybe we just do florals for our Mother's Day.
I mean, let joy be unconfined, have beautiful florals.
Mm. I'd be okay with that. Give ourselves flowers for Mother's Day. That's what we'll do.
There you go. That would be pretty easy to turn into a Stitch with Us piece because it's not very many colors.
Yep.
Which is always good for this.
Right. Yeah, it's good to not have a whole bunch of changes.
Okay.
Oh, where am I at? I've just lost myself, guys. I've just lost myself.
This one, for whatever reason, this border wants to have big gaps. I guess most of them have. This has been a fun stitch. I love it.
I've been enjoying watching it come along. Are you getting close to a good stopping point, you think?
I am. I'm almost to the end of this piece of floss.
All right, I've got 4 more stitches I'm gonna put in here. I'll be done with this row on the tree. Excuse me.
And what I may do is figure this out right away after our video. And I'll stitch a little bit on Autumn Town, and then I'll insert a photo so that you'll get to see it of how far I really got.
Okay, sounds good.
I can look when we get off of here and see how long our video was and stitch about that long and just get a start. So I'll play with maybe one strand, and my problem with this is that I don't know if this yellow will show with just one strand.
Oh, gotcha. Right. That's a
Okay.
pretty good start on this.
Okay. So I finished up my fish, my green fish.
Ooh, so good.
And then I'm working on this border. And yes, I know this isn't in line. The rabbit's ear comes right down, and the rabbit is the same color as the border.
Oh, gotcha.
So if you stitch this, you need 2 skeins of sticks and twigs for sure, because it's all the browns, and there's brown in every single one.
That's
It's
a
the
lot of brown.
it's this owl, it's all the trees behind the cardinal, it's all the borders, and it's the whole rabbit. So
Ooh, that rabbit is so cute. I'm
mhm.
excited to see.
Yeah, and I think probably I'll get all the way around and do my flowers first and seriously save the rabbit, other than this top ear that's going to run into the next part of the border. But the fish, I love those patterns.
They're fun.
So I kind of have a thing for fish now.
Yeah,
You can
got
see
your big fish back there. Yeah.
the one that looks like a submarine.
Yes.
How'd you do?
Well, here's where I got to on mine. So I got a
Ooh,
good
look at the
start
red.
on a red little tree there. So I'm liking how it's variegating, and it was the model is stitched just back and forth, and I kind of like the way that looked. So that's what I'm doing. Not overcomplicating it. So
With the overdyes, I'm stitching back and forth on this one, and like in rows, long rows, all the way across half, all the way back the other half. and
Okay.
it's making the modeling a little more subtle, but I like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, yeah. See, and I want to just full blown change those colors in that tree. So,
So all the leaves look different.
yes, yes. So I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be really pretty. I say from my probably less than 100 stitches I put
I think it will be a fun piece. And I know that a few years ago, a group of people used it and did a stitch together, and a bunch of them finished it. And I changed the hashtag just a little. Now, if you don't know, hashtags on Instagram are a little nutso now. I used hashtag Autumn Sal, and I'll try and put it down at the bottom since I figured out how to do that, like scrolling along the bottom here.
Oh, oh, look at you.
I'm figuring things out.
Oh,
Get
man,
fancy. That's what
that's
happened.
right.
So,
Right.
anyway,
Well, do you think we've rambled enough for one day?
I do think we have, and we have kind of thought up a few more shenanigans.
Hmm. Yep. So all that's left to say is goodbye.
Bye.
Have a good week.